Welcome to Neighborhood Niches. I'm Susan Kennedy. We're in Takoma Park, which is one of the most diverse communities in Montgomery County. There are about 17,000 people who live here, and Takoma Park was one of the first suburbs of Washington, D.C. In 1883, developer Benjamin Franklin Gilbert purchased his first tract of land in Washington, D.C. and Maryland. With that, he built Takoma Park, which became one of the first railroad-accessible suburbs in the D.C. area. The state of Maryland incorporated Takoma Park in 1890, and by 1913, it had grown to become the largest city in Montgomery County. In 1904, the Seventh-day Adventist Church purchased land to relocate its headquarters to Takoma Park. We will have more on how this group shaped the evolution of the city, but first a glimpse of what Takoma Park looks like today. Takoma Park is approximately 2.4 miles in area. The median age of a city resident is 38. The median household income is just over $78,000. An average home in Takoma Park will run you $469,500, and roughly one-half of the households in the community rent. The city is served by Takoma Park and Piney Branch Elementary Schools, Takoma Park Middle School, and Montgomery Blair High School. Takoma Park is a municipality governed by a mayor and 6 city council members. The city has its own police force, public works department, housing department, library, and recreation department. Kate Stewart was elected mayor of Takoma Park in 2015.
We have Prince George's County over here, and we have the district here. So we like to say we live on the edge here in Takoma Park. You know, Takoma Park is a community that's very diverse, and it needs a lot of services.
Today, nearly 1/3 of the residents who live in Takoma Park were born outside of the United States, and the city takes great pride in that diversity. With one click on its website, you can translate information into 6 different languages. And since so many of the residents who live in Takoma Park rent, the city adopted a rent stabilization law in 1981.
Takoma Park is a very involved community, and that's one of the things that makes it such a wonderful place to live and a great place to be the mayor.
Takoma Park is informally called Azalea City. It's a nuclear-free zone, was the first municipality to legalize gay marriage in the state of Maryland, and Takoma Park was the first state of the nation to lower the voting age to 16. And if you want to cut a branch off a tree, you must consult with the town arborist first. At-large council member Hans Reamer and his family live in Takoma Park.
What you find in that part of the county, as in other parts, is tons of people who work in the public sector or in the public interest. Employees, there's lots of government employees, and so there's just a great community, mind to the area that makes it really fun.
There are 2 other at-large council members who called Takoma Park home, George Leventhal and Mark Elrich, who served 10 terms on the city council. We caught up with the 2 of them at the popular city restaurant Mark's Kitchen to find out why they put roots down in this municipality.
I mean, I moved here because it was an integrated community, an integrated and affordable community. And a lot of activists, it was, politically progressive even then.
It's a place that people with an interest in making a difference through political activity tend to gravitate, and so, and also relatively affordable.
Howard Cohn and his wife Diana have lived in the city for more than 30 years. He was instrumental in getting recreational sports leagues for Takoma Park kids off the ground. In 2015, he was named one of the Community Volunteers of the Year by Maryland's Recreation and Parks Department.
Oh, my dream is to bring kids together, people together, and sports is one way to do that.
His wife Diana is the president of the nonprofit Historic Takoma. She says one of the things that brought the Seventh-day Adventists to Takoma Park was the fact that the city's founder, Benjamin Franklin Gilbert, was a teetotaler.
1904, they are looking for a place, and Mr. Gilbert was very interested in them because the only thing missing from his new suburb of 20 years was a hospital. And the Adventists build hospitals. So there was an instant liking. So the Adventists pick up and move their world headquarters, their printing press, and their hospital and their university from Battle Creek to Takoma Park.
Like many municipalities, Takoma Park has its own newspaper, the Takoma Voice.
You're listening to Takoma Radio, a little set of African music now.
And just this summer, Takoma Radio hit the airwaves. Run by volunteers, Takoma Radio is the D.C. area's first low-powered FM radio station. It's on the air 24 hours a day, and it aims to provide a mix of music and talk that reflects this diverse suburb. Takoma Park prides itself on its cultural, economic, and racial diversity. In response to recent racial tensions nationwide and locally, some city leaders joined forces to help strengthen relationships between residents and the police. Captain Tyrone Collington, business owner Megan Murphy, and Mayor Kate Stewart kicked off Unity in the Community. It began as a conversation between the three and turned into a plan of action.
So we did a questionnaire and we polled the community, what type of services would you like to see? Hey, what's up, Michael? Is it dialoguing with the police? Is it like setting up after school programs with the kids, which I'm involved in that now as well? Let me ask you a question. By raising your hands, you want to be successful. If you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, you'll be successful. So, we just brainstorming different things. We have a youth discussion here, and this is part of the unity in the community, where we're going to have law enforcement sit down with youth all day. They're going to eat lunch together. They're going to enact all day. These things are continuous that we have to continue to do to bridge that gap, to reinstill that trust that the community used to have with the police. Watch out for the cars coming back.
Mark's Kitchen is probably one of the best-known restaurants in Takoma Park. The establishment is currently celebrating its 25th year in business. When we visited there wasn't an open table, and folks were more than happy to tell us why they love this one-of-a-kind little community.
We have our own town center, which I love, and Takoma Park is just the most welcoming, diverse, artistic, creative, wonderful community. I felt, as soon as I moved in, I felt completely at home.
So if you like community-minded places with friendly, progressive residents, Takoma Park might just be the place for you. When we come back, we will go west to the town of Poolesville.
So, I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys, and then she hides them in that basket by the door. It's like, hello, that's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek.
Welcome back to Neighborhood Niches. There are lots of people who are looking to live a more simple, stress-free life. Well, in this next community we visit, the residents have won the lottery on this coveted lifestyle. Tucked away in the western part of Montgomery County and surrounded by the agricultural reserve is the town of Poolesville. The name of the town comes from the brothers John and Joseph Poole, who owned land in the town. In 1793, John Poole Jr. opened a country store in a one-room log cabin, making it a market town for farmers in the area. Poolesville was an important part of the strategic planning of the Union soldiers during the Civil War. They were stationed in the town to watch for Confederate invasions into Maryland. Though no battles were ever fought in Poolesville, the Battle of Ball's Bluff was fought nearby in October of 1861. Hundreds of Union soldiers who were stationed in Poolesville were killed in this battle. Today, Poolesville celebrates its history and rich heritage in its annual celebration, Poolesville Day. This family-oriented festival attracts more than 10,000 people to the historic downtown. We'll take you to Poolesville Day a little later, but first, a look at what gives Poolesville its small-town charm. There are close to 5,200 people who live in Poolesville. The median age of the Poolesville resident is 41. The town's median household income is just over $135,000, and the average price of a home in Poolesville is $430,000. The town is served by Poolesville Elementary, John Poole Middle, and Poolesville High School. Poolesville is governed by 5 commissioners who are elected in staggered 4-year terms. The commissioners elect a president who is informally known as the mayor, as well as a vice president. Jim Brown has been president of the Poolesville Council for the past 4 years. He's been in the area for 30 years and a resident of the town for the past 12 years.
You're in a municipality that's the only incorporated municipality in the entire Ag Reserve region. So here you have a municipality that has its own independence, yet we're still, we consider ourselves to be the guardian of the Ag Reserve up here too.
When Poolesville constructed new water and wastewater facilities, a wave of development came through the town. But for the most part, growth has been slow over the past few decades, and there are plenty of different types of housing available in Poolesville. The town made news during the recession when Poolesville's longtime grocery store, Selby's, closed its doors in 2012. When that happened, Poolesville lost its de facto community center, and that was a wake-up call. Brown and his colleagues decided it was time to focus on building the business community of Poolesville.
We've put all the pieces in place in order to make sure that we have a much healthier business climate. The town will always be small, but there's always going to be development pressure that we do the best we can to manage and hold off.
The town's economic dividends are beginning to pay off. A Tractor Supply store opened in town in 2014, and an upscale Dollar General has been a big hit with residents.
Almost 1/3 of this Dollar General is grocery goods. It's also one of the highest grossing Dollar Generals east of the Mississippi.
One business that folks in the area have acquired a taste for is Bassett's Restaurant. Since 1993, this landmark institution has been serving locals and out-of-towners with their homemade dishes and famous fried chicken.
A lot of regulars, a lot of locals come through here. There's a lot of commuters that stop by, and there's a lot of bikers, bicyclists, and motorcycles that stop by too.
Being nestled in the agricultural reserve is a point of pride for the town of Poolesville. There are several other farmers who live off the land there, and they are working to educate the public in order to preserve this local gem. Located on 380 acres of lush countryside in the town is the Poolesville Golf Course. One of 9 courses operated by Montgomery County Golf, the Poolesville course caters to golfers of all levels. The course opened in 1959, and it offers events like family golf and clinics to improve your driver distance. The Washington Post calls it the best little secret in Washington golf. An event that the town of Poolesville is probably best known for is its annual Poolesville Day. It's a chance for Poolesville to showcase what is so special about this small American town that's right here in Montgomery County.
It's just really a day to come out and have like a little mini reunion. You know, we have a great time here all year round with 30-some events right here on Whalen Commons. But Poolesville Day, up to 10,000 people come out and visit us today. Not just our community. People come from all over for the vibe that we have on this great little small town day. So we really enjoy being out here in the middle of nowhere, but our nowhere amounts to the biggest amount of everything in the county to us.
The celebration draws more than 10,000 people every year. Roger Berliner represents the Poolesville community.
It really has a hometown feel to it. It's in the midst of our Ag Reserve. It has the best high school in the county. It's green. It embraces solar energy. It is a wonderful community, and it's really one of the most sought-after places to live in our county.
And another standout attraction of the town is the Poolesville School Cluster. For the 6th year in a row, the Washington Post has recognized Poolesville High School as the #1 high school, both public and private, in Maryland.
Write about one of your current events.
It has a magnet program attracting some of the best and brightest students from the Up-County.
Morning.
Dina Levine has been principal of the high school since 2002.
We are so fortunate to have students that are enthusiastic. They love to learn, they love to come to school, they push themselves to excel and succeed, and they're just a wonderful group of young people.
Not a lot of people get an opportunity to go to the best school in the state, so it's really cool to be here.
In 2017, Poolesville will be celebrating its 150th anniversary. For more information on events throughout the year, visit the town's website. Well, that wraps it up for this edition of Neighborhood Niches. I'm Susan Kennedy. Maybe we'll be in your neighborhood next time.